is up, guys? We're gonna be playback trading May 4th. So let's get right into it. I see a trade here, and I think it matches up with live data here. Go ahead and take a look at that screen. Let's get right into this. We had a double top, first entry, second entry. I think we took an overall downtrend here, but if you take a look at what's really happening, this is something I wasn't going to create a video of this, of course, not just doing a playback practice little thing, but I wanted to make the video because this is an important trade if we're going to make this adjustment to the strategy, which is going a little bit more psychology based. So we do have kind of staircase lows, and it's kind of an overall downtrend, but you do have two legs in that direction versus this one move, and you know, it's just a little difficult to tell whether it's uptrend or a downtrend. So something to take into consideration and to put into the strategies. All right, well, are these significant lows? I think so. The reason being is because if you were going to go long and correct this entire move, that would be the spot to do it. And we can imagine a ton of stops being here, and potentially even here, but here and here mostly. And so we're going to call that a pretty significant low because there's a good amount of stops there if you're trying to correct that entire move. So you have that double top, first entry, second entry, and your 1 tick entry sell would be right there. Yeah. Alright, I already feel like this one's not going to work because this is part of our strat, but there's something we're missing here, something psychology based. So here we have the lowest of the low, and I think that's what it is, but that usually plays on the range days. And this could have been rangy, probably around 9 o'clock and became a range. And I think the more stops it has, the less weight it's actually going to carry. Because if you think about it, there's like on a range day, you have a ton of people trying to short back to the other side, and well, let's see what happens actually. Let's treat this as a range day. It's a rangy day, right? Rangy day, spike down, range, spike down, range, spike down. So it's a rangy day. Let's go ahead and treat that as the overall low of the day. I know that's super duper pushing it, but I think that's what that's going to be like, because people are trying to correct the entire move and trying to trade back to the other side, creating like more of a range day than a strong trending day. So it'd be a non-obvious buy. Well, let's see, we could be very wrong here, but I think that's what's gonna happen. Nope. Yeah, the sell there is the best because you want to continue that low. I'm funny as ever. Don't take what I said. Just continue that spike. It's pretty simple. Pretty significant low. Yeah, man, we're bad at this. Alright, there could be a couple of things declaring overall downtrend, but I feel like this is gonna be a bite in the booty. This could be an overall uptrend. We do have the confirmed test over there. If we were to do this, the highs would be a little bit off. This just looks a little bit more right. Let's see how far back that could line up to. Yeah, actually, you know, that might have been the push through. Might have been a break of that. So it's an overall uptrend. I mean, overall downtrend. So non-obvious buy. I don't know. Let's give it a shot. That's what our strat says, right? It's gonna drop in it. So overall trend was up there. Looks like that was the correct trend. Right here. Just like that. Yeah, that looks much more correct to me. The reason why we like it like this is because if you look at that midline and how it's reacting there, it's like coming right to there. So that's an overall uptrend. You just go for the sell. Yeah. Alright, now we broke down below this guy. I think it's just an overall downtrend. That is a pretty significant low. but I don't think psychology base, it doesn't play much of a role. But of course, there's only one way to find out. Unless it is a pretty whoop-de-doo high. And actually might be. Because it's the lowest point and you would have along there. And it is the break of that trend, really. Let's give it a shot. Let's stick to our strat. I don't know. Let's see. So, if we do get the scalp, well, I don't even know if we're getting in this trade. Alright, we're in this trade. So, if we do get the scalp, that means there's a little bit more psychology here, which is that low played a pretty big, just like this low. The reason being is because people went long, going off those lows, that falling consolidation or the bottom of that trend, if you will. And since it's the break of that trend and we have that pretty decent low, it's the lowest point of the entire day. Now we're creating that new low. Yeah, that's gonna play just like, but if we do get stopped out here, that means that was not an important low. So just stick to the strat. So no psychology there, just it's not an important low. Alright. Overall trend could potentially be down. Was I talking without the mic in the last one? I don't know. Still, I mean up here. So the sell might have been the best thing. The reason it's up because, as you can see, we developed a new trend here. So overall trend could potentially be up there. Even though we're bouncing off that, it's still up because we go for the sell. So yeah, that was it. Because that doesn't necessarily mean that's the top of the channel. It could be up here or even here somewhere. Oh, that's probably it actually. This could be it, or this. But basically, you don't know what the top of that channel is, and so I think that's something we have to focus on a little bit more before we yeah, start using that more aggressively. Alright, but now we have this swing high, first entry, second entry, and there we break. And the buy is what we would have done since that's a pretty significant low, but there was really no buildup. This could have been falling consolidation here, and then maybe that break. This is more closer together, so there was a lot more potential for people to buy, and you have this huge spike out, huge push up. Couldn't push up higher here, not even to that high, so there's gonna be a lot less buys there. Right, because there's no buildup. This guy already stopped these guys out. So once you push there, there's no, it's a whoop-de-doo. Oh wait, no, that's a significant low. What the heck? That's a significant low. Whoa. Okay. That could be a fourth test. If we were looking at this like this, and we got that break, then we say, oh, overall trend is down. But now, since after that bounce, that kind of created this thing right here. So then you bounce off of there and the overall trend is up. You would just go for the sell. Yeah. That's the best thing I could come up with for that trade, but I think it's accurate. Even though it's not super like... So let's oh gosh, I spilled my Sprite. Okay. So you have this trend that we were trading off of earlier, which was this guy. We had a bounce there. We're like, oh, okay, that's a bounce. Overall trend's going to be up. Let's look for a trade. Overall trend's up. We go for a sell right there. And that should have worked out. Let's see, 2. Let's make sure it works out. 2, 4, 6, 7, couple ticks, yeah. So overall trends now, and then we get the break of that, right? And we're like, oh, there's the break. All right, so we have a break of that. Whoop-de-doo low. It's just gonna be an overall downtrend, And then we go for buy there. And we're like, hey, wait a minute. We just bounced there. We draw that trend line. And like, wow, we bounce off of there. Okay. Let's see if we'll get a bounce off here. There's the bounce. Overall trend is up. We go for a sell on a non-avi, but we would not get in the trade on this stick chart. Yeah, I like that. All right, then you get a two-legged pullback. Just continue that spike. Doesn't have its correction yet, and that's your correction at low green bar. Just sell. Continue it. That could be falling consolidation. Looks like it on the minute chart. It might be this, but that seems like it's being pushed a little bit. There's a lot of consolidation there. A little bit here. There's a little bit of a break in there, but the break was first and wasn't last, so let's go for the sell. Let's see. Of course. Okay, so it was not falling consolidation. So usually it has to look like falling consolidation on the minute chart as well. Got two legs up here. It is a rangy day, but I'm worried that became a strong trending day. But there are going to be points where people are going to try and go along in the other direction. So if this is a rangy day, it's going to be this move versus this move here. So we do have two legs here with a good amount of support. I think overall trend could potentially be up. We did break higher and higher. Yeah, I think I like this as an overall trend up. I think. In the trade. Nice. Finally a good read. I haven't been recording backwards. I kind of want to take a trade in the swing high first entry, second entry, just because I think it's a place where people would take trades. It's in an area like this low area, essentially. I think overall trend is going to be up. We do have two legs here, but no two leg here. It is that green bar, so maybe it is a downtrend here. Let's go for a buy. Let's give it a try. May not even get in the trade here. And we're testing those lows. And it is now this side versus this side. Did break a little bit lower there, but not quite yet that much lower. I think it's gonna break that. There it is. So then you had that low and that low. Is this significant low? You tested twice over. Use that as an overall uptrend. So I would say, yeah, that's gonna be a pretty significant low, meaning we go for the sell. Nope. So yeah, it's not, even though we did use it, we don't use it as the level of support, if that makes sense. We have said that in the past, and it's a little bit tricky, but yeah, that's just gonna be whoop-de-doo lows as we overall trend up. I mean down, so you just go for the buy. Got two legs up, and now we have a little bit of support there, but not support like we break through it. It's gonna be a level of support and valid. It's not necessarily that level, but it's an overall trend here because we got two legs up. And we just keep making those higher highs here. I think should work out. If not, it looks like there might be something we're missing significantly. I'm worried that this was a significant high. Yeah, two tests there and a second test right there. We'll take our L here, boys. Gosh darn it. Oh wait, we got it. Let's go. Nice, good trade. Our strat worked. I'm kind of worried that this turned into a strong trending day. Yeah. So I'm not sure. So overall trend is down there. You got a big move, I guess. Even though I guess it became a strong trending day once we started to make moves that became less of the U shape. We had those U's here, but then once we started to push on down, it looked like we kind of strayed away from this U pattern here that people thought was going to correct. Or that could just be a 15%er there. Got snapped that by the tick. Oh, it looks like there was another setup. Swing high, first entry, second entry. Maybe we could still get in this. So swing high, first entry, second entry. Overall trend's gonna be, we got 2 legs in this direction now, but no level of resistance here. We got a ton of support here, and that was tested. Looks like it's even being tested again on the minute chart. 2 legs up versus 2 legs down. This side has a little bit more support on that side. Looks like overall, I think overall trend's gonna be up. So let's go for a non-obvious sell, I think, but that is followed up by 2 legs down. But there's no level of resistance there. That's the only problem I'm having. So we're gonna go for the sell here. May not get in the trade though. No trade. But the sell is the best option. It's good to know. Good looking setup here. Alright, we broke below this low. I think it was a pretty significant low. We tested it once, twice, and I think that was an area where people were trying to go long. But didn't we say that before? And then it was just a normal strat. So broke below there. No strategy. I think it's just it might be staircase low. Pretty significant low. It's a spike. No trend. We have 1, 2, 3 tests. I'm gonna call it a whoop-de-doo low. And usually, got 3 tests though on a rangy day. Yeah, we'll say it's a pretty significant low. Mainly because it has 3 tests, especially on the minute chart. I think that could be used. Oh, 1 tick away. Nice, we got it. So a good trade. So yeah, 3 tests there. I think that one, this didn't count as much, but after that 3rd test, looked like a pretty significant one just because where it closed on the minute chart there, and since it's a rangy day. Yeah, it's mainly because people were going long. That would be the place to go long. And 3 tests is, I think, a pretty good amount there, especially with it followed up after 2 strong legs out. So I think there was a good amount of stops there. I just saw another setup. I just saw this couple tests there. Overall trends up. Swing high, first entry, second entry, non-obvious sell. Would have been a great trade there, I think. Let's see. Your entrance would have been like right here. 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah. This could be a trend here. I think it's just an overall trend down. Maybe. Well, it's definitely a 50%er here if we get snapped out. It's not quite a bounce yet. Unless we do something like this. I don't see the midline. Oh, there's the midline reacting right there. So overall trend is up here, apparently. Could be up. So you go non-obvious sell. Let's give it a shot. Alright, we're in a trade. Go ahead 1 tick early. Nice. Just an overall trend down. Let's go. We got a bounce. Thought we had to break, but we have a bounce. Alright. Overall trend's definitely up there. In the trade, unfortunately. Alright, there's some staircases here. That's a tough one. We did bounce off that high. We could implement that into the strategy, but we've never done that before. Overall trend would be down, non-obvious buy would be a good one. But when do we go for the sell if it's overall trend up? Did bounce off that low to declare an overall trend up. Maybe if it pushes up too high here, then we have to be super hesitant. Here's, I think, when we cross that midline, it's now we're okay. Now you're kind of straying away from that this area, because now everybody's looking to sell around this area as well. So once again, to regurgitate, I think pushing above that midline is going to bring back to our normal strategy. Now we have the move up here. Even though we did break above there, we have a test there and a test there. That might be the top of that trend, so that means might be above that midline, meaning a ton of people are also going to be looking to sell due to the fact that it's a strong trending day now. You don't have those U's anymore. They're all V's now. So I think a lot of the times what's going to happen now, well, I don't know, I just said that, but I think when you break above that midline, it's going to apply the normal strategy. So overall trends are going to be down. Even though it has two legs here, there's no backup, essentially. Because it's normal strategy now. So using it here, if we had the second entry here, then it'd be an overall uptrend. But since it kind of broke way above that midline and we really got close to the highs here, I think we gotta go back to the normal strat there. So in that case, we would just ignore this guy and be just an overall downtrend, and you just go for the non-obvious buy there. All right, now we got good two solid legs up, so it could be a potential. It's going to be this leg down versus that leg up, or that move down, that leg down. Kind of thinking about these highs here being staircase highs, but I don't think so. We could potentially get stopped out here for sure. Seems like we are. What? You're joking. I'll just exit here. Man, oh man. To the tick. Alright, kind of missed the trade. I was on 100 times speed. Swing low, first entry, second entry. Let's see what happens here. Maybe we can still get in the trade, maybe not. Overall trend's definitely up. We do have spike. I don't think it's going to be staircase highs, really. It's been on a strong downtrend, but it is a kind of a rangy day. But those staircase highs and lows work better on range days. So I'm going to go ahead and call this just an overall uptrend. So hopefully we can get in this trade. So good thing we did it. So, staircase highs, huh? That's an interesting one. So that means this was also staircase highs, but we would have got stopped out there because we're one tick short, couple ticks short here. Interesting. Two legs up. So it could be staircase highs due to the fact that it's kind of a rangy day. People trying to pick the tops and bottoms. Here you got a ton of people going long, a ton of people going short, but have their stops right here just in case we start to consolidate. Yeah, so I think that might actually be staircase highs potentially, just due to the fact that was like a build up here. But this is actually a spike, really. So maybe this might have been just a 15% right here. That guy. Okay. I think we have in our strat, don't mistake two leg correction for an overall trend change. Oh nice, we got it. So it's just an overall downtrend because you have two legs with a little bit of backup there, just versus this side. So because it's a rangy day, so that's why it's side versus side. Overall downtrend still. You got a overall uptrend potentially. Good amount of consolidation, but it's the fact that you kept pushing low here. You got low there, push lower, low there, push lower. Then you got a couple tests there. I kind of want to replay that and see what happens. We got swing high first entry, second entry. Your signal bar could still potentially be in the trade. So right there, you're at this point. Oh, actually, you're right here. Yeah, you're at this bar right here. There's a lot of consolidation, but if we tested it somewhere else, then I'd probably say it's valid, but it's just so much consolidation. It's just like, if there was a test here. Okay, looks like there's a lot more bottoming here, a lot more lows here than anywhere else. So we're going to go ahead and try this again from the beginning, and it's going to be the rest of this video. Yeah, let's go ahead, just rewind. And I think that's where we really did find a lot of success, just going over the same things over and over again and try to regurgitate everything that we did learn. So hopefully we can do it right this time. Right? Alrighty. Let's get right into this. So swing low, first entry, second entry. It looks like overall trend there. At that point, it's going to be this side versus this side. But this side did push up a little bit higher, so I couldn't declare an overall uptrend. Plus, you got the 2 legs up versus the 1 leg down, so I'm going to treat it as overall uptrend. And so I can go for a sell here. Did we already forget everything? Probably. Let's go 4 times mean. And the trade. That's our signal bar, by the way. Ooh. Let's go. I don't even know if we did that trade in the previous time, but good trade nonetheless. I think we should also switch up the strat, because we noticed that every time we get a scalp, it's never just 2 ticks in reverse, like hardly ever. We do have that one trade that was to the tick, but it didn't even fill it, you know. So maybe another test. I kind of want to add 2 points, but maybe we'll do 1.5 points. Yeah. So that would be 9 points, or 9 points and 1 tick for 37 if we had 1.5 points. Do we want to do that? Maybe we'll do 1 point. We'll do an even 9 points. Alright, 36 divided by 4, yeah. 36 divided by 4. And we'll call this test 9-point scalp. Okay. I remember us thinking about this super hard, and I don't know which one it was about us being wrong. So we're just going to treat this as an overall downtrend. I don't know. I don't want to think too hard. I don't remember if these were significant lows or not. It's tough to say. It's the only thing I'm doing a playback by memory. You don't want any memory in it, otherwise you start taking trades based on memory. Okay, so it looks like those are significant lows there. Yeah, it's pretty much staircase lows. Yeah. To continue this.